Well, Vice President Kamala Harris just finished speaking moments ago at a teachers union event in Texas. She's set to replace President Biden as the Democratic nominee for president, and it seems she's ripping a lot from the Biden playbook already, especially the attacks on Republicans. Watch.
Today, we face a choice between two very different visions for our nation. One focused on the future, and the other focused on the past. And we are fighting for the future.
She's even labeling them as extremists, just like Joe did.
In this moment across our nation, we witness a full-on attack on hard-won, hard-fought freedoms. While you teach students about democracy and representative government, extremists attack the sacred freedom to vote. While you try to create safe and welcoming places where our children can learn, extremists attack our freedom to live safe from gun violence. And while you teach students about our nation's past, these extremists attack the freedom to learn and acknowledge our nation's true and full history.
Hello, everyone. This is Outnumbered. I'm Emily Campagno here with my co-host, Harris Faulkner. And also joining us today, Fox News contributor, president of KA Consulting, and former senior advisor to President Trump, and host of Here's the Deal on Fox Nation, Kellyanne Conway, host of the Kennedy Saves the World podcast, Kennedy, and host of Kudlow on Fox Business, Larry Kudlow. Kellyanne, you were remarking during that. Tell us your top line thoughts.
Wow. So she's playing to the audience here, but she made very clear she's playing to the audience at home, too. She's introducing herself. She's having a decent couple of days for someone who's new to the trail and who has battled that teleprompter unsuccessfully in the past. She had a great opportunity today to be for school choice and charter schools and educational freedom and opportunity scholarships. It is a civil rights issue of our time. It is the brightest line distinction between the two parties I can think of, Emily. You can't find a Democrat in Washington, D.C. who's in favor of school choice. I remember doing press conferences with the late Joe Lieberman when he was a Democratic senator, Floyd Flake, Democratic congressman, also a black pastor here in New York City, on school choice and charter schools. As the number of kids who are in failing schools has increased, the number of Democrats who are for an alternative for them to allow the money to follow them and go get a quality, affordable education where their humanity and dignity has all but shrunken. But she's playing for the teachers' unions there. The other thing that she's doing is she's threading this needle between I'm part of the Harris-Biden accomplishments, cue the CHIPS Act comments, I love that. But yet she's trying to say I'm a new generation of leader, I'm here on my own. It's very curious to me that Joe Biden has not endorsed her. And I think the Trump campaign needs to take her a little bit more seriously than maybe they are. She will have this bump and then maybe a slump. But she's as radical as they come. She's enjoying her time in the sun. And we'll see what happens. But it's only the first week and she's out there.
Well, I got to jump in, though. Lead editorial in the Wall Street Journal. In her campaign debut, Kamala Harris steers left. Okay, this is the San Francisco Democrats. This is the California ultra-liberal, ultra-progressive Democrats. She was rejected by the Democratic Party in 2019 and early 2020 when she originally ran. I saw some of this speech. I didn't see all of it, but there she is, hammering away. We got to raise taxes on wealthy people and successful individuals and businesses. By the way, businesses create jobs. Unions don't create jobs. Businesses create jobs of all kinds. Donald Trump's going to do very well in the union vote. As Kellyanne said, she had a chance to come out for school choice. She rejected that in favor of coming out for the teachers' unions. The teachers' unions among the most regressive, difficult, anti-kids, anti-education forces in this country in their far-left views of all this. So I agree she's getting a bump now. Yes, she's getting a media bump. She's getting a liberal media bump. But she's coming out Foursquare on the far left. That's just make that as plain as can be. And there's a lot more where that came from, and it isn't going to be good. At the end of the day, it isn't going to be good.
And Harris, she calls half the country extremists as she's talking to the teachers union, the AFT, thanks them for being the first union to support her. But just because you're in a union doesn't mean you're not Republican. So she's alienating out of the gate so many people, while she herself, as Larry points out, is the extremist position holder. We have a list we can scroll of progressive policies that are frankly extremist: reparations, Medicare for all. The list goes on, Harris.
Do you think she likes the other side of the country that she thinks didn't vote for the Biden-Kamala team? Do you think that when those people were given their money that she cared that any of them weren't giving their money for her, but maybe those donations that she's going to inherit by whatever it is, anointing, coronation, whatever it is, that she cares that those people put their hard-earned dollars for him and not for her? And she is much farther right than Joe Biden. So people probably know from my social media in the last 15 minutes, I wasn't really happy. I couldn't fact check in real time because we were, and I will next time. I will, because I'm not going to be duped by, well, the White House put this out, so it must mean it's not a campaign speech. I don't care whose letterhead it's on anymore. If that woman is on a stage, that woman is running for the White House. And she went after everybody on the right. And make no mistake about it, she did exactly what Senator Cruz had told me 15 minutes before. He said she's not going to talk about the civil rights issue of the 21st century, which is educating our kids, particularly after being locked down for more than a year in states like New York and New Jersey. I live in one and work in another. She didn't talk about any of that. She quoted what she said in her first sentence, the House of Labor. It wasn't even about the teachers union. She's courting the labor union. She wants that vote. This was campaign from the get. I don't think any of us should be duped again. And if we're going to do anything that even approaches, although cable is not being held by this because the FCC doesn't, it holds broadcast more to equal time, we've got to at least put an effort into making it fair. Because the White House clearly, with Biden staying in office, whether he gets out of bed every day to do anything, is part of that campaign to push her. So the letterhead will say White House. We now know it means Kamala's coming with a campaign speech.
And back in 2020, Kennedy, she was pressed on being the most progressive senator. Let's listen to her reaction.
You're considered the most liberal United States senator.
Somebody said that, and it actually was Mike Pence on the debate stage. But
Yeah. Well, actually, the nonpartisan GovTrack has rated you as the most liberal senator. You supported the Green New Deal. You supported Medicare for all. You've supported legalizing marijuana. Joe Biden doesn't support those things. So are you going to bring the policies, those progressive policies that you supported as senator, into a Biden administration?
what I will do, and I promise you this, and this is what Joe wants me to do, this was part of our deal. I will always share with him my lived experience as it relates to any issue that we confront. And I promised Joe that I will give him that perspective and always be honest with him.
And is that a socialist or progressive perspective?
No. No, it is the perspective of a woman who grew up a black child in America, who was also a prosecutor, who also has a mother who arrived here at the age of 19 from India, who also, you know, likes hip hop. Like, what do you want to know?
So you have to like hip hop to be black? I mean, you have to vote for Joe Biden to be black? I mean, I love hip hop, but I love it because of the music, not because of the color of my skin.
Or to be the, quote, most liberal senator, which was the question.
Right, and this was back in 2020, Kennedy, and we note that GovTrack, that website that was cited there, well, that's since been deleted, I guess, in preparation for the anointing.
I'm looking at it right now.
There you go.
They took it down, and Elon Musk said.
Yeah, so they were given marching orders from this administration through the coronation that they were to take the stuff down that would cast her in a bad light. But, you know, community notes are going nuts right now to all these news organizations who are trying to walk back various designations of Kamala Harris for the early years as vice president. But it's almost mathematically impossible. But she has been wrong on just about every issue. And that's a hard thing to do in politics. Even progressives every once in a while get it right on things like mass surveillance and their opposition to that. But she is so wrong. She's an open border authoritarian. That's so difficult. But then she's talking to Randy Weingarten. And parents, don't ever forget, Randy Weingarten is the reason your children have mental health issues in 2024, because she worked with the CDC hand in glove to keep schools closed. And Kamala Harris, the vice president, is pandering to her first and foremost. This is an unholy alliance. Kamala Harris can be taken to task on the issues where she has failed voters, Americans, Californians, women, families, and that is why people should be very skeptical of her running for president.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Compagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.